playing a duet with Patrick later, and I'm also one of the founders of Alton Climate Action Network. And as was said, we're raising money this evening for two charities. The first needs no introduction, is the Disasters Emergency Committee, Turkey, Syria earthquake appeal. Features perhaps not as regularly in the news as it should, actually, in the state of things out there. So desperately need our funding. So very vital charity to continue to support. The other will be almost certainly unknown to most of you anyway, and there are a few flyers put round earlier just to introduce this. Alton Climate Action felt it was very important that we had a link with a part of the world that's much less privileged than ourselves and where the climate crisis is already having a major impact. So we partnered, it's a long story and I won't go into the detail, with the GUMBI Education Fund. GUMBI is a collection of small villages in central Malawi. Fortunately, they were spared that awful cyclone a few months ago that devastated the southern part of Malawi. The farmers out there, subsistence farmers, they are dependent on monoculture maize, and this crop fails regularly when there are droughts, torrential rain, in other words, the impact of extreme weather events which are getting more and more regular. So the answer, which has been pioneered out there by a number of Malawians, is permaculture. It's a broad diversity of crops so that you're not reliant on one thing. You've got a whole range of crops. And the Permaculture Paradise Institute, the wonderfully named Permaculture Paradise Institute, is an important training emporium to train young farmers. So we have now paid for the training of something like 15 young farmers of both genders in permaculture techniques, and then moved on at the end of 2021, early 2022, to buy a plot of land. So there is now literally a GUMBI Alton Permaculture Paradise plot out there. It has its own Facebook page. They regularly supply us with wonderful photographs of all the progress they've made, clearing the land, digging a well, etc., etc. And they're now growing a very wide range of crops, feeding 50 families, still planting. We've just paid for some animals for them, partly for subsistence, but also for manure, very importantly. And then they have plans this year. The big project for fundraising this year is to build a classroom or classroom suite so that they can start to train others. Yeah, so we're getting a bit of a satellite that can train others in the area to spread the message in this much more sustainable way of farming, sustainable agriculture. So that's just a little bit about the GUMBI Alton Permaculture Paradise Project. When we talk in ACAN about what we think is one of the most valuable things we do, GUMBI nearly always comes very near the top of the list. It has a very tangible, obvious benefit to people, and a lovely thing to be associated with. So thank you very much indeed, and we'll now get the show on the road.